Coaching Center. So today I'm going to explain sociology. Sociology first chapter. Social stratification part 2 videos. So last video started in meaning of social stratification and features of social stratification. As I said, they asked this for 2 marks. So next is major forms of social social stratification. So what are the forms of social stratification? Let's know. The major forms are primitive society. First is primitive society. Then is slavery. Afterwards, it's estate system. Then Varna system. Next is after estate. The next is Varna system. Afterwards, caste system. After this, untouchability is a social evil. So in this, let's know about untouchability. So in beginning, the Varna system was present in India. Varna system was present in India. Afterwards, 4 Varna system came. The first is Varna system came in the Brahmana, means who is teacher, Brahmana teacher or study. Partition in yoga, partition in yoga, participation in yagnas, etc. was the Brahmana. Kshatriya, who is political administrator. Afterwards, Vyasya, who does business. Afterwards, last is Shudra, manual laborers. So Shudra were the laborers. Is for the 5th group, that is called as untouchable. Is never considered as human beings. That time they were never considered them as human beings. The consider of Varna system, untouchable was started during Varna system. When Varna system started, that time only they were not considering the untouchables. That started British government. After that, the British government, by their Indian Government Act in 1935, considered as untouchables and tribal peoples or belongs to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. The British said analysis of which group stay outside the village, whether they came from outside or were pushed outside. Outside gives answer to the birth and death of untouchables, birth and death of untouchables, said by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, said this. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said this. Afterwards, Ambedkar fights against this issue. Ambedkar fight against this issue. Problems of untouchables. Next is problem of untouchables. So the lowest position in the social strata is the first problem. Untouchables were occupied lowest position in caste system. Afterwards, according to Manusmriti, anyone who touches untouchables to undergo purification many times, means they had to take bath. Purification, they had to take bath for many times was written in Manusmriti. Then if an untouchable comes to the man in a distance of Cowtail, so how much distance is of Cowtail was there? If a untouchable person come near of him, Cowtail, then he had to take bath. Whether whatever he work he made doing, you want to take bath first was the policy first followed by the people. In Malabar, the untouchable should not use the footwears. Untouchable should not use footwears, as well as they were not allowed to touch water well and tanks, as well as they were used to carry the night soil and dead animals, as well as were the problems faced by them. Problem is they were kept away from education. So let's know how they kept away from the education. So they were kept out from education from many centuries. From many centuries they were kept out from the education. They should not listen Vedas. Listen Vedas, as well as they should not learn Sanskrit. Afterwards, they were not allowed with touchable children and teachers. They were not allowed with the other class teachers and children, or touchable teachers or children. So education provides an entry into demand of social justice. So it asks us to ask the social justice. In democracy, individual has right to take decision on his issue, take decisions on his issues. So if you have any problem, we can take decision on his issues. And all should have thinking ability and logically act ability and logically act. They should think logically, act. Dr. Ambedkar said. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar fought to realize the people for the importance of education, Ambedkar having realized about having education in individual life, Ambedkar has realized that, and Ambedkar argued in the favor of education. In the favor of education is a public property. Ambedkar said it is a public property. Ambedkar fought in the favor of like that. Due to that thought, Ambedkar came out with new ideas and made constitution, and he is called as chief architect of the Indian Constitution. Ambedkar is said as chief architect of Indian Constitution, as you all know, you learnt in your previous classes. Denial property rights. Next is denial. The untouchables were keeping away from property rights. They should not keep any property. And only expected to serve their master. They should only serve their master. The untouchables should not get property in Shastra, Daniel Shastra, Dharma Shastra. Last is denial. Next topic is denial of political participation. They were not allowed to participate in politics. During British rule, they got few political rights. As well as due to effort of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, they got opportunities in politics and administration. After independence, reservation was brought to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So after independence, reservation was given in politics to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Constitution is an important angle for constitution is an important for this angle, because by the constitution only they are getting opportunity. So for that only our constitution is important for this angle. Many legal measures had been taken to stop practice of untouchability. Many legal measures have been taken to stop practice of untouchability. This last topic is legal measures to eradicate untouchability. So to stop untouchability, what are the legal measures taken by in the constitution? Untouchability is a social problem. It is still living in spite of efforts. So in spite of many efforts of Jyoti Bapule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to stop this. Jyoti Bapule Jyoti Bapule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and others. By other things they tried to stop this, but it still is little bit in some places it is going on. It is still living in Indian society, living in Indian society, but many legal measures have been taken to stop this. First is the Article 27. So Article 17 that prohibits untouchability. They should not practice this. The government of India implemented Untouchability Offence Act in 1955. They implemented this. Protection of civil rights was implemented in 1975. According to these acts, untouchability is a crime. So by this act, untouchability is a crime, and it is 1976, and it is protection of civil rights is little bit updated by that 1945 Indian Untouchability Offence Act. But moreover, reservation is given in the fields of education and employment for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, scheduled caste and scheduled SC and ST Act of 1989. So after Indian independence, India has tried to keep equality in India. So this is about your chapter social stratification. So I think you are understanding this chapter. So I will put these pages, making it PDF in description. So don't forget to watch the description.